Did Hugh Freeze whiff on one of the SEC's biggest stars in 2024? Stick around. Let's talk about it. This is Way Offsides. 3, 2, let's go. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Way Offsides. Got something really cool to talk about today, something crazy that we're going to chat about. I'm going to give you my thoughts, but before we get there, leave a giant Roll Tide, War Eagle, Go Doors, whatever you are, down in the comment section. While you're there, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Does us a favor so that we can continue to bring you content and all the content. Now, before we get to it, I know what's going to happen. There's going to be folks in the comment section going, hey, why are you talking about us? You guys are a Bama show. Why are you so obsessed with us? We talk about everybody. You ain't special. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm not sure if you guys have been watching the new SEC documentary that was filmed in 2024 over on Netflix, Any Given Saturday. Very, very good show. Very good show. Of course, it's heavy on the Bama losses because when Bama loses, everybody else loses their minds. But it's really cool. It follows certain programs and players throughout the season, highlighting the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows of the college football season. One of those players who was a big storyline last year in 2024 was Vanderbilt Commodore quarterback Diego Pavia. Now, we all know Pavia's history. We all know he came over to Vanderbilt via way of New Mexico State. And there were some interesting things said by Pavia in this documentary. First and foremost, Pavia is by far not a humble individual. He is a cocky, kind of Menzel-esque, if you will. But you can tell that his attitude is why he's successful, why he's had so much success playing in the SEC, not just at Vanderbilt, but also when he was at New Mexico State. Because if you guys will remember 2 seasons ago, the Aggies of New Mexico State, I believe they're the Aggies, went into Jordan-Hare Stadium and beat the Auburn Tigers. Well, Pavia, true to form, did not miss an opportunity to talk about that as they were highlighting his game last season in which he went to Jordan-Hare and beat Auburn. And he talked about what happened after the game the year before when he was at New Mexico State and he beat the Auburn Tigers at home. Pavia says, this isn't verbatim, but it's pretty close. I actually just put this graphic up on Twitter, but basically it shows him hugging Hugh Freeze on the field, and he says he had an opportunity to recruit me, but he didn't. It would have been very hard to pass up a scholarship offer from Auburn. So the question becomes, did Hugh Freeze whiff on Diego Pavia, or was this just Pavia kind of stirring the pot? I thought, so last season, after Pavia beat Alabama, I thought that he may be a target for Auburn. I also thought the same thing 2 years ago when he went into Jordan-Hare Stadium, the vaunted Jordan-Hare Stadium, Jordan-Hare, however they say it, and beat Auburn when he was the quarterback at New Mexico State. I thought that he would be high on their list. Now, I admittedly on X have put out troll material about how he told Hugh Freeze to go kick rocks. That was just a ridiculousness to kind of rage bait, basically. But what I posted today is true. It's there in the documentary. You can hear it for yourself. I think it's like episode 5 or 6. But Pavia, I thought, would be high on the list. Well, when Oklahoma beats Alabama, I was pretty verbal on social media that Jackson Arnold was going to end up being the next quarterback of the Auburn Tigers, and it looks like I was right about that. Now, if Pavia were to have been the quarterback at Auburn, I think it changes their season. I think it changes their expectations. As much as you and I don't like the guy, Pavia being who he is, playing the game the way he plays it and impacting the team the way he plays it, and you can really see it in this documentary. He does elevate a team, kind of like Johnny Manziel. I'm not saying that Auburn would have been a national championship contender, but if Hugh Freeze would have gone after this kid, Auburn definitely could have been a playoff contender in 2025. maybe even in 2024 with the wide receiving core that they have. They have a good secondary. They have a good linebackers. So it's just interesting to me that Pavia was so verbal about, he had a chance to recruit me and he didn't. And he said, he follows that up with, it would have been really hard to basically not accept the scholarship offer to Auburn. I would imagine that if it was between Auburn and Vanderbilt, he probably would have picked Auburn. The culture's better. The football culture's better. They're not a perennial power by any stretch of the word right now, but it's a better gig. Clark Lee's done a fantastic job up there in Nashville. I don't want to take anything away from him or what Pavia has done at Vanderbilt, but just in the essence of college football, Vanderbilt's a low tier job. It just is. It's a low tier place to play outside of academics. There's not much going on, and so I have to ask myself, what could have been? Like, what if? You know how Marvel has the What If series? What if Diego Pavia would have gone to Auburn? What would they look like? I think that this transformation that Auburn fans are expecting, which Hugh Freeze talks about a lot in this show, it would have happened quickly. I do. I think Pavia is that kind of player. As much as the guy drives people nuts with how he yaps, I think he is a very special football player. And I have to ask myself, like, did Hugh Freeze whiff here? Because, when you watch enough college football and you kind of bury yourself in the culture enough, it's very easy to kind of predict storylines, what's going to happen. That's why it was easy to go the night that Jackson Arnold beat Oklahoma. It's like Jackson Arnold's going to be the next quarterback at Auburn. And sure enough, it's just, I don't know. History repeats itself. The trends are always the same. It's almost like it's very predictable in a lot of sense of the word. I thought the same thing about Pavia at one point in time. So I have to ask, like, did Hugh Freeze really strike out here? Like, was there really a potential for Pavia to land with the Auburn Tigers and maybe flip that program around a lot quicker than Auburn fans are expecting, or that Hugh Freeze is now preaching to the team? By the way, he's telling his team in that documentary that they're the foundation to something that's going to be special in the next couple of years. So we'll see. But after Vanderbilt and Diego go into Jordan-Hare and beat Auburn, he does say that he is he's the anti-Freeze. So on brand. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think about this. Let me know if you're watching the show, if you're enjoying it, what you think about it. Do you feel like some of the bigger programs like Georgia, Texas, Alabama kind of whiffed not being included? I mean, they're all there, but they're not being followed like some of the other schools. It's interesting because the schools that kind of did opt in ended up having lackluster seasons a lot of sense of the word. I think the one that probably had the best seasons in terms of growth is Florida. But the big premier programs like Alabama and Georgia just weren't involved. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. Subscribe while you're at it. Pour 5-4. As always, say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide.